you can take your right hand, wrap it around your neck, find the spine, and then come about an inch to the left of that spine and just rub the muscle there. Working your way down the neck and then back up again. That would help. And then if you can look towards your left, keeping the pressure on the muscle. And then look towards your right, keeping that pressure. Looking center and releasing it. So taking that right hand, bringing it to the spine, the fingertips, and then moving about ½ inch to an inch over and just pressing into that muscle, maybe massaging it, going down and up, maybe just pressing it. If you find a tender spot, that's where you stay, and then looking over to your right, keeping pressure on that muscle, and then looking to the left. This is a good one if you wake up and you can't move your head well to one side. You know what I'm saying, a little crick in the neck. And looking forward, we'll bring both hands underneath the head, the skull, so my thumbs are forward, and I'm just looking up and then looking back forward. Couple more times. So you're pulling up a little bit, so you're getting a little bit of traction here. Not much though. And then releasing the hands, letting the head drop over to the right. And then lifting the chin a little bit, maybe taking that right hand and pushing it down, pushing the left shoulder down and away. Just feeling a nice opening in the neck. One more deep breath. And then release the chin to the chest. Come back up through the center, let the head drop towards the windows. Then if you like to, you can take that left hand up, maybe push the right shoulder back. Maybe lift the chin a little bit so you feel the front of the neck stretch. Then dropping the hand, chin to the chest. Take the shoulders up to the ears and back down, just making a nice shoulder circle as you're looking down. And then allowing your head to drop back, depressing your shoulders down. Taking 2 breaths there. Looking forward, taking the hands up in front of you, the elbows come together. And you're pressing the hands together, the forearms together. Taking just a couple breaths so you feel a nice stretch right in the mid-back. Then interlocking the fingers, pressing them up overhead. And just shrug the shoulders a couple times and then depressing them. And reaching out towards the left and then over to the right at your own pace. If this is too hard on the shoulders, you can always drop the hands. Bring it up to the top, drop it down in front of you. Open the hands, robin's breath, thumbs behind you, deep inhale. Exhale, come forward, rounding the back. So we're making our way down the shoulders to the mid-back. hands, either placing fists on your back or hands on your back and opening up the chest so you're pushing your chest forward. Looking up, trying to get those elbows to come together. And then looking forward, releasing the hands, maybe shaking them out. And then we're gonna do circles. You can have straight legs or bent legs for this, up to you. Just starting to warm up those hips, lower back. Some of you are already warm. Some of you are not. And we'll go the opposite direction. Bring it into the center. Bringing the legs out in front of you. Doing like a windshield wiper, so legs go over to the right, you look to the left. Just go at your own pace. Knees don't need to be together. They don't even have to go side to side. It's whatever you can do. And looking straight ahead, straightening the legs if you can. We're gonna bend the left leg. And you're just making light circles. As you do this, you're pressing down with the right leg so you're getting work on the back and you're working on your posture. We're just warming up the knee in a different way. But we're still getting work throughout the whole body. Now going side to side on the knee. And then taking your thumb and working on the outside of the leg, going up and then across the top. So going up and across the top. You might even use your knuckles here. Just kind of loosening it up. And if you can grab the thigh and just pinch and grab on that thigh right above the knee. And you can work up the thigh if you'd like. You might feel some tender spots, and that's normal. If not, that's great too. Then taking your thumbs, digging them into the calf underneath. Maybe rocking side to side. You might feel ropes there, you might not. And then lastly, straighten that leg, find the fatty pad, and just kind of move it around a little bit. Not a lot of pressure here. Just make sure it's still moving, supple. Okay. And getting tall again, just noticing leg to leg. Maybe it feels different, maybe it doesn't. We're still working our posture. Bring the other knee up, keeping that left leg pressing down, so you're getting work in the back of the leg while you're doing the massage, especially if you're not a fan. I like self-massage, so if you're taking my class, we normally get one of those in, right? But you're still getting work here. And on the side of the knee. This is basically just bringing circulation to the area. It's a good thing. And then taking either thumb or the knuckles, going on the side of the leg and then across the top of the knee. Not a lot of pressure when you go across the top of the knee. And basically, we're just getting different fascia tissue loosened up and hydrated. Sometimes they cause problems. They tug on the knee and put it in a different alignment. And if you want to grab your pinchers, get your thigh. You're still pressing down with this left leg, still staying as tall as you can, even if you don't want to do the massage part. Just kind of find the tender spots. We'll take our thumbs, press them into the calf, maybe rock it side to side if you feel a little knot, or just pinch it, that's fine too. And lastly, straightening that leg and just finding the fat pad and just kind of wiggling it around for a second. Sometimes this brings instant relief, sometimes it doesn't. So if it felt good for you, it might be something you invest in your time in. So we're lifting up, so we're in staff pose, feet come together. If you can bring the toes towards your nose, bring the arms all the way up to the sky. Deep inhale here, get as tall as you can. And then exhale, fold forward or stay straight. Depends on how much feeling you get in the back of the legs. Taking one more deep breath. Rolling all the way up. And then if you can just press the legs down towards the ground. So just pressing the back of the knees down. So it's a very small contraction, but you should feel it in the top of your thighs. One more time. And then we're going to go onto our hands and knees. Going into bird dog. Pulling it in as we exhale like we did last week. Inhale, reach. Go at your own pace. So really extend, press through the heel. And then when you come together, try to get the elbow and the knee to come together. Or maybe you go on the inside of the knee to get a little bit more. Holding it out. If you can turn the palm up and maybe lift the leg up, pointing the toe, if that feels okay. Little work for the back. One more deep breath. Release down. We'll switch to the other side. So we're pressing out, we're flexing that foot in the back, and then coming together as we exhale. So inhale, lengthen, strengthen in the back of the neck, the whole posterior chain. Couple more. Leaving it out. If you can, turn the palm up to point the toe and maybe lift up a little higher if it's all right. Deep inhale. Exhale, release. Coming into cat. So balling up. And then maybe walking your hands back just a little bit so you get a little deeper stretch in the lumbar spine. And then coming forward, kind of an exaggerated cow, bringing the arms a little more forward than normal and dropping the belly and looking up towards the sky. And then dropping the chin. So you're looking down, and if you can, keeping the hips above the knees, going into puppy pose. So it's not quite child's pose, and it's not downward facing dog, but it's puppy pose, so you get a nice deep stretch in those lats. One more deep breath. Pull in the abdominals first, ease the arms back, and then come in to thread the needle, bring in one arm underneath. And taking a little break here to just notice the breath. Is it faster, slower? Is it deep, shallow? And then come into the other side. Pressing the hips back, resting the side of the head. One more deep breath. Coming into the center, either going into downward facing dog or just doing cat and cow, up to you. Downward facing dogs, hips up in the air. You might walk the dog here, or you're in cat and cow on your knees. Always take care of your shoulders, your back. Know yourself first. Take in 3 more breaths, nice and deep. Just noticing the body. If you are in downward facing dog, shift a little more weight into your pinky fingers, opening up the shoulder girdle. And we're gonna make our way to standing however you can get there. Maybe you walk your feet to your hands and slowly come up. Maybe you get there a different way. So bring the arms nice and open, deep inhale. Exhale, you're gonna drop them down your back, look forward. Inhale, grab the fingers behind, look up. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale in front. Inhale, open up again. Exhale, drop behind the back. Inhale, open. Exhale, drop. Inhale, reach. Little back bend. Exhale, drop. We'll go through that one more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, behind the back. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale down. We're gonna take the left arm forward, right leg back, and we're starting in a balance. If you like to go to a dancer, you can, or you can keep the toe down. I'm still tightening up that right glute. Either way, it's up to you where you wanna go. Lower deep breath. And then exhale. Take that right leg and bring it out in front of you if you can. Circling the ankle, because we haven't got there yet. Maybe go in the opposite direction. You can always keep your heel on the ground if you need it. And then we'll take that right leg, cross it in front, drop it down if you can. If you had a hip replacement, keep it next to the left leg. And then we'll lean over. Feeling a nice stretch on the right side of the body. Coming back up. Taking this right leg all the way behind so you can set the heel down. You're in a lunge position. You're in warrior 1 lunge. So hips are still facing towards me. Arms can come all the way up overhead. You can grab the elbows. Set the shoulders down. You might look like this, might look like this. And we're focusing on the pelvis here. So if you can tuck and untuck a few times. So you're tightening up that glute on the back side. And that will give you a little extra stretch down the back leg as well. So we're tucking, releasing, tucking, releasing. Arms can straighten. On top, looking up, making a little temple there, maybe looking behind the temple. Just kind of notice. And then bringing the temple down so it looks like again. Relaxing the shoulders and keeping that heel down, twisting to the angle. We straighten the front leg. And then release the arms, twisting a little bit of a balance here, looking behind you. You might even take the left hand and work it between the shoulder blades. Keep the pelvis tilted and tucked. And then release, looking forward, both hands come behind. Mini back bend here, opening up the rib cage, the chest, the neck. Relax the head. And then the hands can come down and interlock, or they can come down the front thigh. We're going into a pyramid pose. So reaching the head forward, the tailbone back. And just saying hello to the left hamstring. Once you're there, you might take that right hand and reach it towards the thigh, the knee, down the shin. Maybe even look towards the side of the room, towards the windows. Taking one more deep breath. Soften the knee and just drop your whole body over the leg. It's okay if the hands stay on the thigh or they go on the shin, or maybe they even drop all the way to the floor. You want to take all the tension out of the back, the neck, the shoulders, the face, and just rest on your thigh as much as you can. Placing a little bit more weight in the front leg so you can slowly come up using the strength of that front leg so you don't pull on your back too much. And we're going to open up to the side, straightening the legs. Going to straight leg reverse warrior. So reaching down the right leg and bringing that left hand overhead, maybe even reaching it towards the back of the room. Coming all the way up to the top. Remember that left toe is pointing towards me. We're pushing the hips back, going into triangle pose. So wherever that is for you, you might even keep both hands on the waist, or maybe it's on the shin, maybe it's on the ground. One more deep breath. Coming all the way up. Keep the hands on the waist, going into warrior two. Notice the hips, notice if your fingers drop forward. You want to keep them so it's not tail fluffing out. You want to keep the tail tucked. And I want you to look, if you can, in the mirror. Notice your knee where it tracks, because you're going up and then you're going back into that bent position. You want to make sure that you're not way in this way. So you want to make sure it's lined up with second, third toe. A lot of times we can see your big toe, good. Now we're moving from warrior two, and then we're gonna move all the way straight back. If you'd rather hold one of the poses, you can. And we can move in and out of it. And try to really work on your knee tracking. So think about that left kneecap pushing towards the side of the room, rather than the front. One more time. We'll hold our warrior two. Coming into side angle, so really focus on that knee. You might even put your hand on the inside of the thigh to push it out towards the windows. And maybe that right hand reaches forward for extended angle, or maybe it goes behind the back. Some of you like to connect underneath the thigh for bound angle, whatever feels good for you. We have 3 deep breaths here. Coming up to the top, straightening that front leg, turning both toes to the side of the room, taking the hands behind, opening up the chest. Maybe you can press the palms into the lower back. Maybe it's fists into the lower back. You want to tuck your tail and try to open up from your belly button to your sternum to your chin. Looking forward. A little qigong here. So heels are going to come in a little bit, so toes are pointing position with both knees bent, up to you. And then in the center, it's like you're gathering a ball, making it bigger and bigger. Both knees are bent if you can. These are good for the wrists, fingers, shoulders. That's why we're doing this. All right. And then bring it into the center. Bring it all the way up. Push it out. So you're just gathering if you like. Remember to rotate. Last time. Turn the left foot, step forward. Nice and tall. Going into dancer on the other side, so bringing that left leg back, right arm forward. You might be on the toe, you might be holding your foot. Do whatever balance works for you. Think about the shoulders being low, the center getting a little thicker. One more deep, deep breath. And then dropping that arm, bringing that leg up in front. Relax the shoulders, maybe circle the ankle here. You can always keep the heel down if the balance isn't there today. And we can switch the direction of the ankle. Then taking that left leg, crossing it over, if that's well with you. Once you get a nice base there, both feet don't have to be all the way down. Then you can lean over to the door side of the room. Looking in whatever direction feels comfortable for you. And then releasing it, going into a warrior one stance, so dropping that left foot back. Hips are still facing forward. Arms can come all the way up. Maybe you can connect them here. And we're tucking and releasing. If it's hard to do this with the arms overhead, you can keep them down like we did earlier. So we're tucking, I'm really tightening up this glute, and then I'm releasing it. Tucking and tightening. Trying to keep that heel down. One more time. Release the arms. Bring them kind of out behind you. Straighten the leg. Look behind you. Bring in that right hand and maybe the center of the back or between the shoulder blades. One more deep breath. Looking forward, bringing the hands together. Getting a little taller, maybe lifting the head, looking back. Pressing into both heels. And then start to make your descent for pyramid pose, pushing the hips back. Top of the head forward. And if you like to, the legs or the arms can go down the legs. We can release that left hand down, looking towards the right. A little bit of a twist, a little bit of an angle. Still keeping the integrity of your abdominals. One more deep breath. Release over the front leg, start to bend the front leg, and just let your whole upper body go. It might be hands still on the thigh, and you still let your upper body go, or maybe hands can go all the way down to the ground. So relaxing, hopefully you feel relaxed from lower back all the way to the top of the head. Taking just a couple breaths there. Start to tense up the right leg, pressing through the heel, slowly rounding yourself up, maybe using your hands for help. And all the way up to the top. Whew. Turn into the side. And so right foot's pointing towards me, left foot can be pointing towards the side or a little bit to the angle. And going into reverse straight leg warrior. It's trying to reach down the leg as well as reach up and over. One more deep breath. Coming up to the top, we're going into triangle. So make sure the right foot's pointing towards me. Push the hips towards the back of the room. Maybe hands on waist. And just coming into triangle of your choosing. And notice your shoulders, they should be relaxed, set down to their pockets. Abdominals are in. So if you had a fit in between two panes of glass, you could. One more deep breath. Tighten up the legs, press through the heels so you can bring yourself all the way back up. Setting into a warrior two position. Notice the tail's tucked, the shoulders are on top of the hips. Either staying here or moving straight and then bent. Just noticing, looking at the knee, trying to feel the pinky toe side of the foot, the whole foot gripping on that front foot. And then if you want to add the arm movement, you can. So going from warrior two to straight leg, reverse warrior, or you can hold the position depending on what you need today. But you're trying to really work on the knee tracking well. We'll take one more, and we'll set back into warrior two. And maybe get a little bit more depth. We're only going through the thing today once. That's how long it takes. And then going into side angle. So maybe it's just dropping the hand to thigh, maybe it's elbow, forearm. And trying to push the knee towards the door so you're getting a little bit more on the gluteus medius, small muscle group, the glutes. Some people like to tuck this behind. You might even bind here, up to you where you need to go. Taking 3 more breaths. Notice where the neck is. Should be in line with the spine. And slightly chin tucked back. Tighten the glutes. Press through the heels. Bring yourself up with ease. Turn the feet towards the side of the room. This time they're slightly pigeon-toed in. And we're coming into a forward fold of your choosing. Everyone's different. Might be hands on thighs, might be hands down the legs, might be all the way to the toes, the heels, or even in between the legs. If you like to, you can grab the elbows and sway back and forth, but that's only if that feels well with you. We'll take 3 more breaths here, whatever posture you'd like to take. And then maybe bending the knees, tightening the legs, pulling yourself up one vertebra at a time. Bringing the heels inward, toes out. This time it's like you're stirring a pot of soup, so you're going backwards and forward. If you'd rather just hold a position, you can. Carefully lower back here. You can go the opposite direction, stirring a big pot of soup. Maybe it's stirring your thoughts. You have so many in a day. Whoosh. So you can cook them away and they're gone. bring it back into the center. Bring the arms up into cactus arms. And if you can, drop the hips down, bend the knees if it's comfortable for your knees. If not, stay straight. We're just going down and up. So internal, external rotation. Just strengthening those small muscles in the shoulder. Bring it up overhead if you can. Fingertips go behind you. And if you can use the side of your waist to bend side to side. Some of you are going to be able to get the knee and the elbow close to each other. Some of you, it's just going to be a slight bend on top. So don't use your back, but use your abdominals to move you side to side. And coming into the center, dropping the hands, straightening the legs, and stepping forward. Bring the arms all the way up, connecting at the top. Interlocking if you like to. Maybe a small back bend here. And then bringing them down in front of you. We did earlier, keeping the shoulders low, tucking the tail, pressing through the heels. And we're just moving the head side to side. Bring it back into the center.